Cyber Thunder Racing League returns tonight for championship night at Phoenix. Kyle Jetty leads the grid. Jade Bell, Cole Gray top three. I am Tom Richter. We also have Tanner Tallarico out in the booth for championship night in the K&N Rising Stars series. Tanner, what do you think?
Well, what I know is, looks like Kyle Jetty's pretty much all but got this thing wrapped up going into tonight. Had a short conversation with him in pre-race and just kind of talking about what his game plan was going to be. And, he's not overly concerned about lighting the track on fire, although his practice times seem to tell a different story. He's just kind of trying to ride around and basically get to the end of this one and close out the season.
Yeah, no, and it's been a short season, but Kyle Jetty's going to be bringing home the championship hardware out here tonight. It's going to be his first championship. Second guy on the board right now, Jade Bell, he went 3 in a row. Darlington, Kentucky, and no, it wasn't Kentucky. There's a few others. I don't remember. But Jade Bell sitting second on the board right now, just under a tenth behind Kyle. Cole Gray sitting third, Eric Moore fourth, and Rob Rogerson, Tanner, you and I were just talking about before we switched over here. Rob has really improved a lot over the course of the season. Good to see him out there rounding out the top 5 in our practice charts out here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, we were just talking about it. This K&N Rising Stars series, I think, has really, really done a lot for the league. Just with the, I don't want to say opportunity that it's opened up, but more of like, track time on different types of tracks in a car that's not necessarily easy to drive, but it's a good car to really learn different places at. And going back to your point about Rob, he's just a good example of guys that we've seen really kind of excel with this program that we've got going on. So it'll be interesting to see, when next season rolls around. I know we're going to have, basically a little close to a 2-month break almost. And, it'll be interesting to see next season if there's any of these guys that can jump up the charts come next season. Well, I've been watching him the last couple weeks. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's been there every week and has been really consistent. Hasn't really sealed the deal yet, but he's always been in the picture in some way, shape, or form. And I think with one of the fast guys, Kyle, probably gonna lay off a little bit tonight. I think that opens the door for Cole Gray. I think he's gonna get up there and get it done tonight in the season ender. I don't know if he's gonna blister the field per se. I think Jade Bell and Kyle, if he decides to go pretty hard, and probably even Christopher Dean are going to be quick, but I think Cole Gray is going to seal the deal tonight.
Gotcha. Yeah, my mic has been muted for the past 5 minutes, so everybody's been hearing you as we see the checkered flag out in practice. We are going to take this moment and throw it trackside for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
All right, and that beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem out here, playing across the speakers at Phoenix Raceway. Tanner, you got your pick out here. Dave Payton says, grip it and rip it. Dave Payton, who is your pick out here tonight? I want to know who Dave's got. I want to know who everybody in YouTube channels got. You were talking about Cole Gray before the start of the race, or just a minute ago, taking your pick. I think I'm probably going to be on board with that. But if we have to split ships here, I think I'm going to go with my pick from last week. Once again, Christine. He's been very consistent over the past couple of weeks. He's been very fast. He's always up there in the top 5, top 3. And one of these nights, you even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. That's what Dale Lee once told me. You keep posting those top 3s, top 5s, and eventually one of those nights it's going to go your way. Dave's got Jade. That's a solid pick.
Yeah, and right now I know I was talking in pre-race about Kyle Jetty, kind of laying in the weeds and taking this one easy. Obviously, he changed his mind because right now he's basically a little over 2/10 quicker than second place. So Kyle's definitely put in the laps, and the way that this K&N Rising Star Series works is if you win the championship, you're pretty much promoted to the other series. So I kind of see Kyle's standpoint. If I was in his position where, I was fortunate enough to have a pretty big points lead going into the last race, I'd probably want to go pretty hard too, because this is probably going to be his last race.
It's going to be a send-off, most likely.
Yeah, so it'll be cool for Kyle to try to send it off that way and win in his probably last start. And, I definitely think that going forward into the other series, Kyle's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no, for sure. And as we come down to just about a minute and a half remaining left in qualifying, we got Kyle Jett, Jade Bell 2/10 behind, Chris Dean, Eric Moore, Cole Gray, and Dan Diaz.
Yeah, look at Dan up there.
Posting a 6th place qualifying lap right now, as he actually, as we say that, gets bumped to 7th place. Nathan Goot currently sits 8th on the board. Dave Sanders, series newcomer, sits 9th on the board. Alan Robinson, 8/10 off the pace, rounds out the top 10. Ryan Dale and Jamison Beasley. Believe we're going to have 14 cars out here tonight on grid.
Yeah, kind of a small field, but every now and then you'll get that in the last race of the year. There's guys that, probably are locked into their finishing position in points, and, sometimes, let's be honest, racing's a lot of time. It's really time consuming, and it's nice to be able to just take a night off here and there. So if you're in that position, that's definitely understandable. But, sometimes having a small field, especially at a place like Phoenix, isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is definitely a racy racetrack. Definitely having a 12 to 15 car field probably isn't going to be that bad of a thing tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, especially with the series as it's designed. It's designed to get everybody up front, get them some race wins, and get them moving forward and get them some experience running up. I see Mike Gray out there. Mike Gray's got Cole Gray out here for tonight.
Hey,
that's a solid pick. That's Tanner's pick for tonight.
Yeah, and as we close in on it right now, it looks like that's going to do it for qualifying. Kyle Jetty is going to be on the pole in his final start, more than likely in the K&N Rising Star Series. Jade Bell going to come home 2nd in qualifying. Christopher Dean 3rd. Robert Rogerson's going to be 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is going to be Eric Moore. And then outside of the top 5 and 6th, we're going to have Cole Gray, followed by Daniel Diaz, Nathan Goot, Dave Sanders, and Alan Robinson. It's going to be the top 10. 11th through the tail end of the field, you'll have Ryan Dale, Jamison Beasley, and then electing to not take a time tonight, you have Paul Turner and Dale Lee. Cars around the grid here on pit road. One thing that I think we'll probably talk about quite a bit tonight, Tom, is I'm pretty sure that these guys will be able to cut the dog leg tonight. I think that is in effect. Not sure how that's going to come into play once the field gets spread out. But I do think on restarts, that's probably going to be an option with these kind of lower horsepower cars. It's kind of a benefit to take the shorter route, if you will. It doesn't really do a whole lot to really sweep up there and stay on the racing surface, but it'll be interesting to see on the drop of the green flag how many guys actually elect to cut that dog leg going down the backstretch. waiting on one car on the grid here before we can get rolling. Not sure who that is.
Yep, I was just playing with my settings because when I pulled down my my button box, which we usually use to control the cameras out here tonight, I unplugged it from the back of my computer and I can't crawl down there fast enough to find which wire it is. So we're staring down here at the Ford Mustang GT. Jade Bell, Kyle Jett are going to be your leaders off of tonight's grid.
Yeah, and you know, this isn't necessarily a track where, you know, track position isn't king. You know, usually track position here is a pretty big deal. But I will say, with kind of a, you know, medium-sized field, if you will, I don't think it's going to be as important. And it may be interesting to see who can start deep in the field and kind of work their way up through the race. It's 90 laps tonight. It's pretty long, really, for the K&N Rising Star Series, kind of sending them off in a big way last race of the year, but I believe they're going to be coming to the green this time by for the final time in 2020 Season 1.
They are going to be coming to the green for the final time in 2020 Season 1. Championship on the line tonight. Pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn down. Tanner, bring us to the green.
For the final time, 2020 Season 1, Kyle Jett, Jade Bell on the front row. Green flag is out. They both get a great launch, actually, off the green flag. They're going to pull the rest of the field by about 2 to 3 car lengths as they go into one. Kyle's going to bring that Toyota Camry right down to the yellow line, float up to the wall off turn number 2, see if anybody decides to dive the dog leg. We got 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a spinner in the back.
We got a
Light
spinner in the
contact
back.
inside wall.
All right, so we get to take a look at our brand new caution scene here that we can see if we can't figure out how to use it. We'll be back with the live replay. All right, so oh, my mic's still open. All right, and we're going to be back here. We got our live replay of tonight's first caution on lap 1. We got our camera focused on here on Dan Diaz. We were just talking about him. He was sitting 6th on the grid here. Let's take a quick look to see what happens to Dan here. He's coming down here to turns 1 and 2 on the bottom line. Coming through the dog leg. And he just completely
like steps out on him.
Yeah, he just completely loses it. Right on that dog leg right there. Just
it's got to
no
make you
warning.
wonder too. Maybe that was a combination of just cold tires, and you know, cutting that dog leg. There's really not a whole lot of grip down there, but that thing, yeah, that just snapped around on him pretty hard. Hit the inside wall, but I don't really see any significant damage on that Mobile 1 machine. But hopefully Dan can minimize the damage, if any, like I said, and you know, he'll be starting in the back of the pack here, but I think that was pretty worse for wear for him.
Yeah, I see Dave Payton giving us a hard time out here. He's saying there's a rookie series, there's a rookie broadcast crew. Thanks, Dave. Dave, come on out. You know the address. Come on out and join us out here tonight as we stare at Rattlesnake Hill.
Well, maybe if Dave Payton could get his old folks home to sponsor our broadcast, we could put together a little better production. We love you, Dave.
We see one car hitting pit road down here. Who's this going to be? Is this Paul Turner back here, I see?
That is Paul Turner coming down pit road. See what he does here, if he's going to take tires or not.
Yeah, there are no tire set limits in this series. Obviously, that's now an option throughout iRacing, whether you want to... Oh, it looks like he's coming down just for gas. 90 laps. I don't imagine fuel would be a major player here, but the weight may be a bigger player. Or maybe he got some sort of damage coming through there. I didn't see anything, but... We'll be back.
Yeah, it could be anything, really. He could have a software problem he's got to straighten out real quick, maybe recalibrate his pedals, something like that. That just takes a quick second, but maybe we'll hear from the driver's chat. Maybe he had something going on we can figure out here. Maybe not. But as we see it, I believe the field's more than likely going to be coming to 1 to green this time. Potentially 2, but I believe it'll be 1. Oh, that's 2.
Absolutely. Mike Gray, I see out there. We don't do this too often. This is kind of just like a fun little gig for us. We don't make any money off this, but we will always salute the red, white, and blue colors here at Cyber Thunder.
Absolutely.
I see
Speaking
Mike
of
Gray chiming in the chat, goes, absolutely appreciate the national anthem being recognized before the race. You guys rock. We will always do that anytime we come out here and put on a show for whoever wants to watch us.
Absolutely. And while we're on that topic, hope everybody has a great 4th of July weekend. A lot of plans. I know a lot of people are going away and going on trips and stuff like that, but it's always a fun weekend to, celebrate the old red, white, and blue. And for me, it's personally my favorite holiday. I love fireworks and, music and grilling and all the typical stuff you do on the 4th of July. And, I just hope everybody's got a good weekend coming up this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully everybody. I know my town has canceled their shows, but we're about to continue our show here. Field's going to double up. Lights are out on that Mustang GT, and we're going to be going green here again. Looks like Kyle Jetty's going to be electing to start on the inside lane. Do you think we'll see anybody electing to start on the outside lane? Because there is a lot of room coming out of turn number 2. There's a lot of room to wash up and carry the RPMs out of the corner.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think the K&N car, it's a possibility, but I think on new tires, it's just, there's so much grip down low, it's going to be hard to really make the outside work, but definitely it's a potential move on old tires. You might be able to make the outside work, but yeah, I think on new tires, the bottom's more than likely going to be the way to go. But coming to the restart, here we go.
Coming to the restart, Kyle Jetty, Jade Bell, dead even coming out of turn number 4. Barney's got the flag in hand. Barney's going to drop it, and we're going to be racing again here at Phoenix as the green flag is displayed again.
Field heads off into turn number 1. See if we can get a little better result this time. Looks like Kyle Jetty again is going to clear Jade Bell, but not by as much as he did on the initial start of the race. Still got a couple guys cutting the dog leg. Looks like they're going to make it clean and green this time. Kyle Jetty with about a 2 car length lead or so over Jade Bell as they come off turn number 4 for the first time under green.
Taking a look back here at turn number 4, we got Cole Gray and Rob Rogerson. They're going at it side by side. Rob's been really stepping his game up as we see Cole sneak under there and try to steal that spot to move into the 4th position, coming through the dog leg.
Yeah, and for the most part, it looks like the field's already starting to get pretty single-filed out. Kind of status quo. Just as I say that, we got a battle right behind those guys between Eric Moore and Nathan Diaz. Looks like Eric's going to work the inside through 3 and 4 and get around Nathan on the exit. But, with such a long race, it wouldn't surprise me to see the field kind of string out and everybody bide their time and, just try to get a little later into the race when they start making some really big moves. Robert Rogerson goes to the inside of Cole Gray. Going to cut the dog leg, get to his quarter panel off the end of the back straightaway, side by side into 3. Roll the bottom here. Looks like it's probably going to clear Cole. Oh, maybe not. Cole's coming back, powering up big time on the outside. Big run off of 4 and put Cole back to I believe that's going to be the number 4 spot.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that you're going to see here a lot tonight. I think you're going to see, as I try to get this lowered just a tiny bit, I think you're going to see a lot of people using that dog leg to kind of make some gains through the back stretch here, which is what is now the front stretch here. If we had the updated track, what kind of, does that affect the tires at all? What kind of wear would we see? We saw Dan Diaz just completely lose it going through as we see Nathan looking inside the 3, but he may not get there before the corner.
Yeah, the dog leg will definitely have an effect on the way tires wear. There's the grip coefficient that iRacing puts on the apron is a little bit different than what they actually put on the racing surface. And if I remember correctly, iRacing does consider that dog leg, the apron. So it's not going to be ideal. You're probably not going to want to do that the entire run, but definitely on a restart or you're really fighting to get around a guy, you can elect to cut that dog leg really sharp and hopefully clear him by the time you get to turn 3, or at least set yourself up to be side by side and potentially clear him off of 4.
Yep, we're taking a look down here back at Kyle Jetty in that Toyota Camry in that SLM Tour 2020. That's what we're going to be doing over these next couple weeks. We're going to be filling the calendar with some super late model racing. That's just short track racing. As Joey Logano would say, we're going to some home style tracks over the course of the next 7 or 8 weeks. So if you're free on Thursday nights, come on out. Come race in some super lates.
Yeah, and speaking of Kyle Jetty in the super late division, just ran runner-up in the Tune-Up 200 over the weekend to Brett Hahn. Congrats to Brett. The super late model tour is going to be 8-race season. First race is at Rockingham on July 9th, so I believe that would be a week from tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you are correct.
Yep, so we'll go green over there at Rockingham, be fixed setups. Encourage everybody to come out. Super late model is something that Cyber Thunder's not necessarily used to, but I believe we got one spinning in the dog leg.
We do have one.
That looked like it was a pretty hard hit.
We do have one spinning. You got a car number?
Let me go back and check here. I believe that was Rogerson. Oh, yeah, he got into the inside wall pretty hard there.
That is going to be Rob Rogerson. As we take a look from his rear chase view, we see his left front tire barely hanging on down there. Looks like it's hanging on by 1 D's lug nuts. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get a full replay of what happened there, but we see heavy damage on the front end of Rob Rogerson. I think we will see him electing to use the fast repair here. Let's get pit stops in here first before we do that. So we've been out here for 15 laps and 2 cautions already. No tire set limit. I think you're going to see everybody come down here. They're all going to be looking for some fresh Goodyear rubber.
Yeah, I definitely think so. A lot of times you think that Phoenix being a repave, the tire wear here isn't all that great. Oh, and we got Jade Bell faking the field out. Looks like he's going to be the only one. Looked like Eric Moore thought about it, but everybody's going to come down. Oh, maybe Dale Lee actually looks like he's going to stay out. So a little bit of strategy going on here. I like it. But back to what I was saying. Phoenix is a track that you'd think wouldn't have that much tire wear because the surface is relatively new. But these big, heavy stock cars and, really the lack of grip, there's just a lot of sliding that goes on with the tire, and that really eats the rubber away more than you would actually think. Similar to Kentucky last week.
We see Rob Rogerson. He is down and out and away out of his pit box. He went ahead and used that fast repair. We're going to watch the race off pit road. Kyle Jetty's going to be first off pit road. Christine's going to be second out. Cole Gray third.
Yep, and then the race looks like it's going to be for 4th and 5th off, but it looks like Eric Moore is going to get it. And then group of 4 cars just behind them look like that was Ryan Dale, Dan Diaz, Jamison Beasley, and Paul Turner all came off in quite the wad there. A couple more coming off. Alan Robinson and Dave Sanders. But
as pit stops are finished up here, we're going to go find that replay of that wreck, and we will be right back. All right, as we found our reason for our caution out here, we're taking a look at the Canada car. We're taking a look at the 78 Rob Rogerson as the field receives 2 to go. Rob Rogerson going down here in turn numbers 1 and 2 on the yellow line. Let's see what happens here. He's just going to lose it coming out of the corner. And heavy impact onto that inside front wall. And ooh, that was close.
Yeah, and that looks eerily similar to what we saw early in the race with Dan. Just kind of car started to come around on him, and it's like a little lazy spin. It looks like it's probably pretty hard to save these cars once they get past a certain point. And like I said, looks very similar to what we saw earlier in the race with Dan. And fortunately, this time looks like Robert's going to pick up quite a bit more damage than Dan did.
Yeah, as we see Rob Rogerson. So one of the penalties I don't think that we've really talked about too much. If you claim a caution, you got to go to the rear of the field. So Rob Rogerson is going to be dropping to the tail end of the field. Terry Henke, he's got Jade Bell out there. So that's 2 picks for Jade. We got a pick for Cole from Mike Gray, from Tanner. Who did I pick? Did I pick Christine? I think that's who I picked.
Yeah, and this will be a restart right here. It's going to be a real telltale of old tires versus new tires. These are 2 guys that are pretty quick, so I think we're going to get a pretty consistent read on the difference between old tires and new. And really, Jade's tires aren't all that old. I mean, I think we're only looking at probably 12 to 13 laps of green flag racing on those tires. But, you know, either way, that's going to be data for these guys to look at. You know, I'm sure Kyle's probably going to take a note of that. Chris and Cole are probably all going to be watching to see what happens here. So maybe late in the race, one of those guys might elect to make a move like that might get him the checkered.
Yeah, and 1 green-white checkered out here. We saw it 2 weeks ago at Darlington where Kyle Jetty was walking away with it. They were engraving his name on the trophy, and we had a caution come out with just a few laps to go, and Jade Bell took a chance, rolled the dice, and he tamed the lady too tough to the lady too tough to tame. The track too tough to tame.
The track too tough to tame. The lady in black.
That's what it's called.
Tonight we're at the Diamond in the Desert.
We are at the Diamond in the Desert, coming past turn numbers 3 and 4. We're going to see that Ford Mustang GT make that another left-hand turn down onto pit road. Doug Locker is out here joining us tonight. Doug, we got to get back to racing here. I got to move my thing over here. Green flag's going to be back out. Barney's waving it. Barney's getting a workout tonight as we come down here into turn number 1. Jade Bell, Kyle Jetty side by side into turn number 1 for the lead.
Wow, let's see what the tires do right here. Jade's actually hanging a lot stronger than I thought. I think Kyle probably just cut him some slack right there on exit, actually. But yeah, that went a little better than I thought it did. I thought Jade might drop like a rock, but evidently it's not that that big of a deal like I thought it was going to be.
Well, and one thing that I can see right now, I'm not even in the car. I can see that there's a lot of shade down here, at least on the 3 and 4 end of the speedway, and it certainly looks like 1 and 2 as well. I'm sure that will have something to do with the tires and, keeping those tires cool. As we see Kyle Jetty making that hard left-hand turn down through the dog leg. He's going to have a nose down there going into turn 3. What does he do with it? He's going to slide up.
Yeah, Kyle's kind of in a pretty precarious position there. Oh, he got pretty free. Looked like he was trying to use the apron to de-wedge that car, get a little bit of rotation on exit there. That'll get you if you're not careful. Almost got Kyle, but yeah, I think this might work decently for Jade. You know, really, in Phoenix, the temperature, the track temp's usually a lot hotter than it actually is. I just checked a few laps ago, and I believe the track temp was actually about 95 degrees. It's usually 120, 130, and that makes the track a lot slicker, but the track being cool like this is probably going to play in Jade's favor on those little tires and might be able to hold Kyle off a little longer.
Yeah, you know who's liking what they're seeing with Jade and Kyle up there racing the way that they are?
My man Cole Gray.
Your man Cole Gray, and although he doesn't have a walk in the park, as he's got Christine in that Jimmy Johnson Lowe's Chevrolet Impala breathing up his exhaust pipe. But he's watching these guys up there. He's saying, go ahead, go kill those tires.
Oh, looks like we're wrecking off a 4. Looks like Dan Diaz got in the inside wall. No caution.
We stay green here as Dan Diaz tries to gather it back up, heading down into turn number 1.
It's got pretty substantial damage on that left front tire area. I don't really see if it's towed in or out or cambered like in or out excessively. He might be okay. Did he keep an eye on him? But
did he use his fast repair on the first wreck that we had? Do you know?
I don't believe so. I didn't remember seeing any damage on that car from that first incident, so I wouldn't think he would have. But looking back at the replay now, it looks like Dan just kind of tried to de-wedge the car like Kyle did. Oh, we got another yellow here.
We got another yellow.
That looks like it's Rogerson again in turn 1.
That's going to be Rob Rogerson as we see some heavy contact on now the right front of that 78 car. Previously, it was the left front that he had issues with, and I think,
Oh,
yeah, I think that might be curtains for Rob Rogerson's night, as he's already used his one fast repair that these drivers are all allocated.
yeah, it looked like, judging by the damage there, that car more than likely lost a upper ball joint on that left front tire. As you saw, the top of the tire just kind of flopped out. I do see some damage to, I believe that's the 36 car, Alan Robinson, too. They must have made pretty significant contact. Alan's...
Yeah, he's still sitting down here. Yeah, and he looks like he's going to be calling for triple A, if I had to take a guess, is half of his tire is stuck in the track. That's not a good thing. That's never a good thing. He is just trying to get it refired, it looks like, as tow truck arrives on scene and the front end of that Ford Mustang falls off. But let's get back up here to the leaders. Let's take a look at our pits that will be happening, that may be happening here in another minute or so.
Yeah, no, I think for sure if, you're one of the guys that just came down pit road, I doubt you'd want to come down again. I think Jade probably is a little surprised that he was able to hold on as well as he did, so I probably wouldn't think that Jade would pit right here and give up the lead. I think the clean air is going to be pretty important on old tires, but there might be some guys in the back of the pack that would like to come down pit road and put a fresh set of boots on there. And like you said, there's no tire limit in this series, so if you're running, mid-pack on back, why not come down and put more tires on, even if it is only 3 or 4 laps?
Yeah, no, as we see Dave Sanders, we see Dan Diaz coming out of the pit road, we see Alan Robinson still sitting down there on service. I wonder if he did not check his fast repair. That would spell trouble for him. If he did not, that would essentially probably eliminate him from the race if he did not elect to use his fast repair there, as we see the 45 car coming down pit road here, followed by the 78. All right, let's go see if we can't find the caution that brought out the most recent yellow flag. All right, and we're back. We're on board with the number 78, Rob Rogerson, coming out of turn number 4. See Alan Robinson in the distance up there, that orange car with the yellow stripes down there in the bottom. Alan Robinson's going to get loose out of turn number 4, come right back up the track and just nowhere for Rob Rogerson to go. We see Dale Lee barely squeaking by.
Yeah, and that's one of those deals right there too, where if you're Rob, hindsight's 20/20, but when you're in a race car and you're going 135, 140 mile an hour, it's so hard to make those quick decisions to either dart to the inside or outside. And quite honestly, I think Rob did make the right call going up there, and I think that Alan probably couldn't whoa that car up, just enough to keep it out of the racing lane, and just ran out of real estate there at the start-finish line. Unfortunate for both of those guys. They're having a pretty good run.
And you know what? Yeah, Dave Payton's out here in our YouTube chat box. Dave says, Tom, the car's still got a tow, so it's probably going to take a couple minutes to make its way down to pit road there. So that is that's a good catch there, Dave.
Old man still got it.
Old man still got it. Somebody's got to run the show around here, because it certainly isn't us, as we probably going to see the 1 to go here, as everybody's already doubled up. Looks like Jade's going to elect to start on the bottom lane again down here for the 4-3 start of the night.
I believe so, yeah. It looks like Rogerson's car is actually... Oh, and we see, both Alan Robinson and Robert Rogerson. Rogerson's still on pit road. Looks like Alan Robinson in the 36 is going to beat the pace car out, although I do think he's going to end up being about 2 laps down. But they are the only 2 cars that aren't on the lead lap, so if we get a quick caution here and Alan gets back to 1 lap down, it's going to be much, much easier to get back on the lead lap 1 lap down than it is 2.
Yeah, no, and I mean, this race is already a third of the way over. As we look at the scoring pylon, we only got 90 laps out here tonight. For the K&N series, that's a little bit longer than what they may be used to. But this is our final race of the season. Ford Mustang. Gonna make that left-hand turn down there. Barney's got the flag in his hand again. Barney's getting a workout tonight.
Yeah, as the field comes off turn number 4, he's going to look the front row over. Field enters the restart zone. Green flag is going to be out. Oh, looks like Kyle got a pretty good launch that time. Actually going to pull Jade by about a half car length as they go into turn number 1. 3 wide in the back.
3 wide in the back.
Are they going to make it? Looks like they are. What a move by Dan Diaz down to the inside as here comes Kyle Jetty. Going to cut the dog leg. Get to the inside of Jade as they go into 3. That's going to get really close there. Kyle really digging on the bottom. Can he make that car turn on new tires? Looks like Jade's not giving up. Going to actually get a run off of 4. I think down here Kyle might have the advantage, though, on the banking.
And in their mirror, objects and mirror, closer than they appear. Keep an eye on that Napa Know-How car. About 3-4 car lengths behind them as they continue to battle side by side down here down the backstretch. As we head down to turn number 3, still side by side.
Looks like Kyle's going to get him right here. Just cut that dog leg and really got a good run. But Jade's going to power up and put the power down. Oh, I thought he was going to take a run at him right there. As we got one sideways off turn number 4 towards
Everybody
the back.
holds it together nicely.
I think that was Jamison Beasley. A hell of a save by him. I thought he was going in the inside wall right there. But we got another car up the track. Looks like that's Ryan Dale. He's going to keep it out of the wall. But catch my breath for a second. I think we're almost back to single file.
Well, single file maybe up front. We're taking a look at Jamison Beasley and Ryan Dale, a 710 Pepsi car back here. Leading Dave Sanders through turn numbers 3 and 4 as they're side by side coming out turn number 4, battling now for the 10th position.
Yeah, it looks like Nathan Butte just opened the door up for Eric Moore off turn number 2. Oh, actually, Nathan got a really good run off there, and he's going to cut the dog leg. Race that run that Eric had going into turn number 1. Pretty good night going for Nathan. He's had quite a bit of bad luck the last couple weeks, as we see. I believe that's Dan Diaz again. Just sink it down into turn number 3. Got to do what you got to do there, driver.
You got to do what you got to do. Send it, brother.
Yes, sir. Last race of the year, why not? Send it down in there. See if she sticks. Try some new things. Looks like he'll be interesting to see if he does it here on Eric as they go into 3. Oh, he's going to try it.
Oh, there's going to be contact there.
Eric.
Everybody holds it together. Eric Moore in that 300 custom Chevy Impala holds it together very nicely as they come through, but you know, he's probably got to be
knocking on the door of the top 5.
Dan Diaz says, I am coming.
Oh, and he's sideways. Caution's going to be out, unfortunately. I think that's going to be 2 on Dan, more than likely.
I do believe you're probably going to be right about that.
Man, you know what? That's pretty unfortunate for Dan right there. That might park him for the night, but man, the virtual fans were on their feet right there.
Yeah.
How about knock my monitor off my desk watching that?
Yeah, no, definitely. We see Dan making that left turn of shame down here on pit road. He's probably going to be claiming that caution there. Single car spin out of turn number 2. Looks like he just got a little over aggressive coming through turn number 2 as we see the pace car back out here.
Wow.
That was a mouthful.
I got to calm myself down real quick. Holy moly. Well, now is where I think we're going to see probably the whole field. I think if Kyle comes down pit road this time, he's probably going to drag Jade with him. I'd be real surprised if Jade stays out right here, but I've been wrong before, and it looks like he might do it. See if he fakes him out.
Yeah, it looks like Kyle Jett's going to hit that orange cone. Jade Bell's going to be following him in. Everybody's going to be following him in as they get single file down here on pit road, and we see, I believe that's Dave Sanders being
a couple guys, actually. Oh, well, you got Rogerson and Robinson back there, too.
Yeah.
They're probably got to stay out because one of them's going to get a lap back here.
Yeah, we'll watch the race off pit road here. After we do that, Tanner, why don't we find somebody after these guys get off pit road, get straightened back out, and get a quick 30-second spot with somebody. What do we want to do tonight? See if we get any suggestions out there in the YouTube chat box.
Yeah, if you guys got somebody you want to talk to mid-race here, go ahead and throw them out in chat, and we'll pull them down and have a couple words with them and see how their race is going.
Tires
off pit road.
Tires spinning on the 18, tires spinning on the 14. It's going to be the 18, the 14, the 53, followed by Christine and Nathan Goot going to be rounding out your top 5 coming out of the pit road here.
Yeah, and I believe our lucky dog recipient is probably going to be Allen Robinson. Yeah, I believe he actually just got waved around the field there.
Yeah, we see him coming through turns number 1 and 2. Tanner, who you want to grab? I see a post out here for Jade Bell.
Let's grab Jade.
Let's grab Jade. You're going to have to do it because I'm out of room.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Jade, this is Tanner and Tom up in the Cyber Thunder booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Tanner. What's going on?
Hey, man, we saw you up there. Stayed out that first run on old tires. Looked like you're really... I'm going to be honest with you. I thought you were going to drop a lot harder than you actually did, but it looked like those old tires weren't actually as big as a detriment as you probably thought they were going to be. How did you hang with Kyle that long?
Yeah, I mean, I just took care of him the first run, and honestly, I thought I'd be dropping pretty quick too, but at the end of the day, I was trying to get a bonus point there. So when we came into the race tonight, long shot was only 6 points behind, strictly business. So we're trying to get every point we can, get up there and get that team championship, if nothing else.
Absolutely, man. That's for sure. Speaking of the tire wear real quick, we had a couple guys talking about it earlier in the race. You know, Phoenix traditionally isn't overly abusive on tires, but it seems like tonight it might be a little more important, especially, you know, as we get deeper into a run. What would the odds be of you, not necessarily you, but do you think any guys late in the race would stay out on tires if we get a caution and kind of mix this thing up being the last race of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen that all season. When it comes down to it, if we get a late caution, pretty much the rest of the field's going to do what the leader doesn't, and it just puts them in a bad situation. So when we get bunched up, we tend to get more cautions. Cautions breed cautions. So really, if we get a green-white checker, you just got to have your nose out ahead when that next flag flies.
Absolutely, man. Well, it looks like you're probably going to be getting ready to go here on this restart and a little overlap, so we're going to move you back up. But good luck. Hopefully we talk to you at the end and put on a good show for the broadcast. We need it.
Yeah, you guys are doing an awesome job. Keep it up.
Taking a look at the start of the next restart here, Dave Sanders bringing that Gatorade machine up front.
I love it.
Awesome colors on that orange and green and white Gatorade Chevy Impala. The 107 leading the field here. Getting himself up front, he decided to stay out. He saw Jade stay out on the previous on one of the previous yellows. He says, "Let me try that. Get me some track position, since track position is going to be so difficult to pass here without killing your tires. Maybe if we go another 10 laps, he rolls out in 3rd or 4th place for the next pit stop, and he's up there in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, and considering, you know, Dave was kind of mired back in the pack there, I don't really think he had the best track position like you were saying from the start of the race, but he's going to give himself an opportunity to jump up here, and if, yeah, like you were saying, if we do get a caution here in 7, 8, maybe 9 laps, and the whole field pits again, and Dave's able to hold on to a top 5 spot, it was a net gain, so
Yeah, no,
probably going to be coming to the restart, it looks like.
Absolutely. Barney's got that green flag up in his hand again. Pace car makes that left-hand turn down into the pit road barrels. Dave Sanders, Kyle Jett, Jade Bell, and Cole Gray going to be your top 4 coming to the Geico restart zone. Not a great restart from the bottom lane. Kyle Jett's going to, looks like he's going to have choice of either inside or outside going to turn number 1.
Oh,
buddy.
Man. Wow, that was a close one right there. I don't know how we held on to that.
Everybody 3 wide. 3 wide in the back there. 4 wide in the back there with Paul Turner, Cole, a bunch of cars. Nathan Goot, Christine, and Jamison Beasley coming through the backstretch here. Kyle Jetty's got a 2-car length lead coming out of turn number 2. As I see Dan Diaz out here in our chat. Dan was just out here on track. Dan is now watching tonight's action.
I thought Dan would still be driving from how far he drove it into turn 3 that lap. Dan put on a hell of a show for us. That was some of the funnest racing I got to watch in a long time. But
yeah, going
it's
back here,
unfortunate for Dan. Guy's a wheelman though.
Yeah, we got Jamison Beasley, Christine, Paul Turner, Nathan Goot. These guys throw a blanket over them. Nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail. Coming out of turn number 4. Christine does not have enough room to slide up in front of the 171 of Beasley as we head down here into turn number 1. Still side by side between the 2 of them.
Yeah, and it looks like that battle's going to continue here. I believe that's going to be Paul Turner just going to try to follow
right
Christopher
in front
Dean through.
Yeah, right in front of them, Nathan Goot. poking a nose down there on the 107. The 107 on older tires.
And Nathan, again, just having another good run. We'll see if the luck goes his way. I know he's been struggling with some bad luck lately, and he's been putting good runs together. It just seems like there's one thing every other race that just really jumps up and bites him. But yeah, I believe he's going to roll over to the top 5 here. And we got Dave Sanders in the wall off turn 2.
Yeah, he did a nice job pulling that. Oops, we gotta go this way.
Oh, Rogerson.
That is Rob Rogerson. Rogerson sliding down the track.
No caution yet.
The track is still under a green state.
Now he's got to be really careful not to bring it out, because that might be his second strike.
Looks like he's
get that car rolling safely. Looks like he's going to do that.
Looks like he's going to do that. As Kyle Jett currently leads by a second over Cole Gray. It looks like our scoring might be a little screwed up here. Let's get back over here to the lead pack. Figure out what's going on.
Yeah, Kyle Jetty's lead right now over Jade Bell. Looks as though it's... Oh, actually, yeah, our scoring is actually screwed up right now, it looks like. Right now we're showing... Oh, there we go. Now
there we go.
Yep, so Jade's up to second right now. Kyle Jetty's holding about a 8-car length lead or so over Jade, and then it's about a 5-car length gap to Cole. But really the front 3 have kind of separated themselves from the rest of the field, as it looks like our only real battle on track right now is Christopher Dean looking to the inside of Eric Moore into 3. Looks like he's going to complete that pass, roll the center pretty good there. That's a good sign of a good handling race car, when you can kind of let off the brake and not touch the gas and just let that thing roll free along the yellow line and just kind of clear guys like that. So Christopher Dean again showing some speed, as he has pretty much the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, no, as we see Nathan Goot, that's a common sight over here, is a lot of drivers like to use that inside of the dog leg going through the backstretch. I'm not really a fan of it. I just think it causes more mayhem than anything else, but it certainly puts on a good show.
We love mayhem over here. Come on.
That is all we do over here. If we do nothing else, we do mayhem.
Ooh, Jamison Beasley up out of the groove in turn number 1. Looks like he's going to hang on to it. Yeah, I thought that car might come around on him. Looked like he possibly overshot entry into 1 just a little bit, but good hands right there. Gathered that car up, and it looks like he's right back into his rhythm as they go into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and it looks like the lead battle between Jade Bell and that RST Timberworks and Kyle Jetty in that SLM Tour 2020 Toyota Camry may start to be heating up here, as Jade looks like he might be reeling him in here just a tiny bit.
Yeah, and he's definitely closed the gap. He's closed that gap down to about a 1/2 car length as they go into 3. Kind of took a higher entry there. It's going to be interesting to see if he tries to do a late diamond. It looks like he was trying to do that. Couldn't quite get the power down, but yeah, Jade's definitely closed the gap on Kyle here.
Coming through turns number 1 and 2, Jade Bell a little bit lower than Kyle Jetty. Kyle maybe trying to get that run off the corner. Jade maybe trying to get the speed through the corner. We'll see who's able to capitalize, as now Jade is just 3.5 tenths back going into turn number 3. Again, Jade on the bottom and Kyle a little bit up and out of the ways.
Looks like, see Jade,
yeah,
when he
looks
gets
like
to the inside like that, he can really launch across the yellow line all the way through the corner. And you heard him saying, too, there's more on the line than just this Drivers' Championship. Jade was talking about the Longshot Motorsports team and the Strictly Business Racing team going at it for the team points. And that's these 2 cars right here. You've got Kyle Jetty with Strictly Business and Jade Bell with Longshot. So they're... Oh, and it looks like Jade's going to kiss the wall a little bit off before. Don't see any significant damage.
That's just a primer scratch. Ain't nothing going to happen out of that. He'll be all right.
Looks like Kyle's going to start opening up that gap just a little bit more. So it looks like that lead's going to be about 5 car lengths again. Got a decent battle going on back here for about 8th, though.
Who we got?
Looks like
Dave Sanders?
Dave Sanders and Jamison Beasley and Ryan Dale had quite the battle off turn 2 that last time. Looks like they kind of straightened it out here, and Nathan Goose starting to drop a little bit. Man, you hate to see it for him. He's so quick, and it just seems like that car starts to go south for him, or maybe software issue or something related like that. Maybe computer issues, just not allowing Nathan to really excel in that car as good as he can.
Well, but see, that's one of the things, Tanner, and you know this very well. I mean, obviously you've won more than your fair share of races. You've beat me a couple times. One of the things that you
Just a couple.
one of the things that, as we see
Oh man.
Jamison Beasley getting very, very loose out of turn number 4 as they're side by side now going in. One of the things that you need to be able to do is you need to be able to put a full race together, start to finish, whether it's playing the aggressive card.
Oh, Dave Sanders around in the dog leg, hard in the wall.
Hard
Sorry
in
to
the
cut
wall.
you off
No,
there,
you're
Tom.
good.
I thought he was going to get T-boned pretty hard there.
You're good there. I see him sitting sideways. But yeah, to wrap this thought up here real quick, one of the things you need to do is you need to be able to put an entire race together, and I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, not necessarily in this series, but a lot of people struggle with just in general.
Yeah, and a place like Phoenix, traditionally, there's a lot of cautions that go on here, and that's not always indicative of the guys driving. That's just a product of this track, and every track has its own nuances like that, and to put a good race together, you kind of got to know the ebbs and flows, if you will, of each track you go to, and just kind of got to judge your driving based on what's going on around you. And if you're fortunate enough to be able to put down a good qualifying lap and start up front, obviously you're going to want to try to stay there. But if you got to start kind of back in the pack, you just got to bide your time and, like I said, know those ebbs and flows of the racetrack you're at and work them to your best advantage.
Yeah, as we see one lead lap car here, and Eric Moore in the number 3 car staying out. Everybody else except Dale Lee as well. Excuse me. Electing to come down pit road. I'm sure we'll see 4 and fuel for most of these cars. We'll watch the exit of pit road, see who gets out here first. Right side's up on the 18 Toyota Camry. Right side's up on the 14 Chevy Impala. They're sprinting around. We can't see them. Left side's up on the 14 first. Tires spinning on the 14. It's going to be close. I believe Jade might have gotten it there. We will see how race scoring sorts that one out.
Now, Allen Robinson was the first car off pit road, but reminder, he is still trapped a lap down. He's still trying to get that lucky dog and get back on the lead. Oh, man. Holy cow, that was close right there. But, yeah, Allen's still trying to get in that lucky dog position and get back on the lead lap. Looks as though Dale Lee has elected to peel off pit road. Maybe had second thoughts about his decision or wants to get on a different strategy. So he's going to come down pit road this time and tag onto the tail end of the field and go at it again for it looks like we're going to have about a little over 30 laps to go when we get to green.
And as we come around here, we're working 33 laps to go. Lights are on that Ford Mustang pace car. Let's see if we can't find the cause of the caution.
Yeah, I believe that was Dave Sanders. Not sure 100% of the lap. I believe it was more than likely lap 56.
Oops. All right, and we're back here. We're taking a look at Dave Sanders' Gatorade machine coming out of turn number 4. Working that low line, sliding up to the top line. Again, we've seen quite a few of these guys as he locks it down, still makes contact with that outside wall. Nice job by Dale Lee. Nice job by, I believe that was Jamison Beasley, getting through there without making any sort of contact, getting through there on that melee. As it looks like Jade is going to be, Eric Moore is currently in pit road, so the lead's going to be cycling back around to the 14, but nice job by Dave, kind of just holding it up there and kind of minimizing any sort of damage that we possibly could.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It looks like Dave actually got really lucky with damage there. I didn't really see anything, actually, to the front end of that race car, so Dave got really fortunate on that one, but back up front, still under caution, but these two guys leading this race seems like that's kind of been the majority of the season, and as we come down to the final race of the year, it's no different. It's going to be probably a barn burner between Jade and Kyle now. They're both on the same tires, same amount of time on their tires, so we'll see if these guys can put on a show for us here in this last third of the race.
Tanner.
Yeah.
I got somebody that I think we need to do our cyber special on tonight. Somebody that has always been out here, somebody who's always, as we see one lap to green. I think we got to talk about Mr. Turner here for the next 15 seconds.
Absolutely.
Paul Turner, always getting out there, always finishing strong. You know, you don't see him causing many issues, if any at all. You see him out here currently running in the 9th position, past the halfway point in tonight's race.
Yeah, and you know, Paul's one of those guys that, you know, when he has a fast race car, he'll push it and he'll show you. But if he feels like he goes to a track that might not necessarily suit his driving style, or he just isn't in the best position to really get up there and mix it up, he's not gonna. But you know, Paul's a guy that seems to always be there at the end, no matter what car or track combo we put together.
Yeah, no, absolutely agreed. And Paul's one of those sponges. He just absorbs everything, no matter who it's from. Pace car is going to be off Barney. He's using his left hand this time. Green flag is up. Green flag is out. Even start at the start-finish line. Kyle Jetty looks like he's going to have the power going down into turn number 1. Side by side behind him. Cole Gray sticking a nose in there, saying, let me play.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Cole shoots to the bottom right here, and he's going to do it. Potentially going to be
three wide for the lead.
Going into 3, not quite. Side by side. Going into 3, Jetty's loose on the outside. Oh, what a save by Kyle there. Wow, I thought that was going to be the whole field.
Oh, speaking of the whole field, we got Jamison Beasley hard into the inside wall. It looks like he's going to gather it back up. We're going to quickly get back over here for the battle for the lead.
Cole Gray
where did Cole Gray go? There he is.
Look at that.
Who else is coming up there to P2 right now?
Looks like Christopher Dean's going to put the heat on. Yeah, he's going to get to the inside of Kyle Jetty here. Maybe that set of tires is just not really the best for Kyle. Oh, actually going to try to pull a crossover into turn 1. He's going to get there. Draws even with Christopher Dean through the center of 1 and 2.
Well, but even though Kyle Jetty's got the championship mathematically locked up here, you know, he doesn't want to just go out here and ride for the last 90 laps of his K&N time. You know, he wants to go out. He wants to go out there, do his final donuts in the K&N series. He wants to go out there, get his final win in the series. So, you know, as we see him trying to start some march forward again, he's now got a nose down there under the quarter panel of that Napa Know-How car, Cole Gray. They're going to be battling for the second position down here into turn number 3 and 4.
Yeah, Kyle's really going to roll the bottom there. Looks like he drifted up just a little. I think Cole probably cut him some slack in the center of the corner. Oh, Christine really loose off 4. He's going to gather it up. That might open the door up for Nathan Butte. Not quite.
It's going to allow him to get there, allow him to fill his mirror, but that might be just about it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jade Bell's taking full advantage of this. He's extended that lead to about 12 car lengths over Kyle Jetty now in second place. We're closing in on, I believe we're at 25 laps to go this time at the line. I think Kyle's probably got the faster car, but you know, Jade's going to be the last guy that I think Kyle's going to want to tangle with or have to chase down at the end of these races. Jade's obviously pretty quick. We were talking in the pre-race about how he went on his streak of 3 wins in a row not too long ago. But, you know, the guy that ended that last week was Kyle Jetty. So maybe Kyle will be able to reel him in and get that last K&N win, or maybe Jade's going to close the season out and pick up what I believe will be his 5th win of the season.
I believe that would be right. Yeah, I believe you would be right. It's either going to be his 4th or his 5th. I don't have it right in front of me.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
He did pretty good this season.
In a 9-race schedule, it's a lot. We got a small field here, Tanner. Just over 20 laps to go. You want to run through everybody that's still out here running? And
yeah.
All right. So
like we were just saying, we got Jade Bell up here pacing the field right now, putting together some pretty good lap times. The guy he's going to have to hold off, the hard-charging Kyle Jetty right now in second place. Behind them, had my pick for the race. Cole Gray looks like he got a little bit off the bottom right there going into 1, but he's going to gather it back up. Then behind him was Christopher Dean. He just blinked out on my... Oh, there he is. Just came back for me. Christopher Dean in 4th. Rounding out the top 5, you're going to have Nathan Butte again. A guy that's been putting together really consistent runs all season. We'll see if he can close it out here in the last race of the year. And then behind them, you'll have Eric Moore running 6th. Paul Turner, we were talking about him, again having a nice consistent run inside the top 10 and 7th. Behind Paul, you're going to have Ryan Dale in the 7-10. being chased by Dave Sanders in the 107. We saw him sideways on the back straightaway not too many laps ago. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Dale Lee in the 45. And then just behind Dale, you'll have Jamison Beasley, the last car on the lead lap. A little bit of damage, nice, not necessarily going quite his way. And then Alan Robinson, we saw his woes that he had quite a bit of damage, but used his fast repair, and he's still stuck one lap down trying to get that lap back. And Robert Rogerson, I believe, is the last car actually being scored on track right now, although he is 3 laps down. Pretty unfortunate night for Robert. Started 4th, running 13th right now. But, you know, definitely, again, not necessarily the finish, I think, is going to reflect the performance of how Rob's done this race.
Yeah, and we can't forget our old friend Dan Diaz. He's currently the only car out of the race, currently sits in the 14th position. As we approach 20 laps to go for our final race of the season, we're going to take a couple months off here over the next couple of weeks, as far as the K&N series goes at least. After that, we're going to be back at it. We're going to be back out for, I believe it's 15 races for the September series for the 2020 Season 2 schedule, which will be posted shortly.
Yeah,
as soon as Chris gives it to me.
Back to the battle up front real quick here, Tom. I've been watching the lap times between the top 2, and one lap Jade's about a 10th quicker, and then another lap Kyle's about a 10th quicker, but they just keep flip-flopping back and forth, so there's not really a whole lot of gain going on right now. As the tires start to wear, you know, maybe Kyle will be able to get an advantage, or maybe Jade will get an advantage, but as of right now, not a whole lot of change going on up front. Pretty much the top 4 cars are all spread out pretty evenly. It's about a 15-car length gap between the top 4, and I believe our first real battle that we have on the track is between Eric Moore and Nathan Gute for the 5th position, and it looks like Eric's going to sneak around him to grab 5th.
Yeah, and this is going to be the only battle that on track right now that you're looking at. As the field starts to single file out here, Kyle, if you're in Kyle Jetty's car, you've been here before. You've led laps before. You've gotten bit by that green-white checkered that, you know, he wound up finishing, I believe it was 9th at Richmond and 8th at Darlington after being the dominant car both of those nights. If you're Kyle Jetty right now, what do you want to do? Do you want to see this run out and hope that you're able to manage your tires better than the 14, or are you hoping for any chance? Because I think Jade is very, very strong out here tonight, and he may have the better car at the end of the longer run.
Well, you know, I think if you're Kyle, you're pretty much going to be the champ. You know, he's pretty much got the championship on lock. I think if he doesn't really start eating into that lead of Jade here pretty quick, once we get to about 10 laps to go, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle just kind of rides. And, yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he's not doing that right now, because he knows that, you know, the big picture is the championship, and obviously him and Jade have had quite, and actually he just got really free off turn number 2 there, but him and Jade have had quite the battles all season long, and he's actually going to lose quite a bit to him this lap, I believe. So I think Kyle Jetty's probably focused on what's going to happen, you know, a little under 15 laps from now, and, you know, the big celebration, if you will.
Yeah, no, absolutely. An awesome job all season long by the 18 car, by the 14 car, by the 53. Everybody that's come out here has really shown strength at one point or another. We saw Rob Rogerson, I believe he finished 5th at Darlington. We saw Dale Lee coming home with the top 5 at Darlington as well. We saw Len McNeese, who's not out here with us tonight, coming home with his first ever Cyber Thunder victory back at Richmond as well. So everybody has shown strength at one point or another. As we're kind of just scrolling through here looking for a battle on track, I'm going to go back here to the 42 and the 710 and the 20 to these guys back here.
Yeah, it looks as though they're starting to get pretty single filed out. I don't see Jamison Beasley. Actually, it looks like he probably just dropped out of the server. Man, that's unfortunate for Jamison. He was having a pretty good run. But Paul Turner starting to hound Nathan Gute all over his back bumper going into turn number 1. Paul's going to pull the inside through the center of 1 and 2. Oh, Nathan's going to get in the wall there a little bit. getting that wall glue we talk so much about with these cars, and that's going to open the door for, I believe that's Ryan Dale going in. Yeah, that's Ryan Dale going into turn number 3. Really going to allow Ryan to close up on the back bumper and Nathan. Bring Dave Sanders with him.
Bring Dave Sanders with him. So now Nathan Goots got a couple people banging on his deck lid, saying, "Let us by."
Oh man, Ryan really sank it in there.
They almost literally banged on his deck lid.
Holy moly. 10 laps to go.
Side by side coming out of turn number 2. Dave Sanders on the bottom, Ryan Dale out there on the top throughout the dog leg. You're looking at the best battle on the track right now between the Gatorade and the Pepsi car.
Oh man, looks like Dave probably got a little tight right there underneath him. I thought they might come together and make a little contact, but they both gave each other plenty of race room.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I want to flash back to the lead here. Yeah, still no change really up front. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle's kind of focused more on the big celebration that's going on. Might let Jade just kind of run away with this one, knowing what's on the line and what the big picture is. But regardless, inside 10 laps to go. Inside 10 laps to go. I believe we're at 8 to go this time. Really, the top 3: Jade Bell, Kyle Jetty, and Cole Gray really have separated themselves from the field.
Yeah,
really spread out here.
One guy that's really impressed us this entire season, if we had to pick the best guy, maybe the best isn't the correct word to use, but if we had to pick the guy who had the most top 5s, the most top 10s without visiting victory lane, I think you're looking at him here in the 53, Cole Gray. Cole Gray has been up in the top 3 almost every single race. Things just haven't gone completely his way, but we still got 8 laps to go here. This thing is far from over.
Oh, spinner going into
Speaking
3,
of,
Kyle Jetty, and I believe that was Alan Robinson. I don't know if there's damage to the front of Jetty's car. Oh, there is a little bit on the right front.
Yeah, as we're on the gyro camera with Kyle Jetty, we're going to see if we'll get the replay here in a second. We'll see if we see some damage there on the right front of his car, right above those Goodyear's logos as we come through turn number 2 and 3. But we're going to get through pits. This opens up the door. This opens up the door for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I believe I just saw that Kyle Jetty's going to claim that caution, so he's actually going to go to the tail end of the field here on this what could be final restart. But yeah, looks like the field's more than likely going to come down pit road here, possibly.
How many laps did we go there? I wasn't keeping track. Is there any chance that we'll see somebody in the back? I mean, we're going to be going green probably with 3 laps to go. We've seen it happen before.
That was a little over a 20-lap run there. You see Kyle Jetty coming down pit road, but he's going to have to go to the tail end of the field regardless. So,
yeah.
You know, that might actually be a pretty good call on Jetty's side right there. If everybody else elects to stay out, yeah, he's going to be at the tail end of the field, but he's going to have 20-lap fresher tires, and that's going to be just a huge, huge difference in lap times. But, you know, I think that's probably going to write off Kyle's shots at winning this race either way. But again, you know, he's got to be thinking about the big celebration that's going to be going on here in a little over, hopefully 5 laps. But I would not be surprised if we end up tapping into that one green-white checker here, the last race of the year. Everybody trying to get all they can get one more time.
And what were we just saying as the caution was coming out? Far from over. Now you see.
Absolutely.
Cole Gray is going to be restarting for hopefully the final restart of the night on the front row next to his teammate, Jade Bell.
And you know, another reason that the Jetty situation going to the tail end of the field is big. Talked about it earlier. The long shot team championship. You know, now you've got long shot running 1-2. I believe Cole is considered on long shot, even though he's on double shot. I do think he's part of the long shot team points. Not 100% sure there, but if he is, they're running 1-2 at the moment. So it could be a big points day for the long shot guys if they can somehow pull this off and finish 1-2.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can't find exactly what happened here with the 18 and the 36.
I believe that was lap 81 in the dog leg, Tom.
All right, we're back here. We got our eyes on the 18 Toyota Camry. That's going to be your championship car for tonight. As you see Kyle Jetty being given the longest line penalty for claiming a caution. He's going to be coming out of turn number 2 here. Cuts down through the apron. It looks like just a case of, I thought you were going to go one way, I thought you were going to go the other. Looks like Allen Robinson was trying to give him the bottom of the track to allow him to go ahead and just take it high into turn number 3. Kyle Jetty was there. That's just a tough situation for both of those drivers. I don't see any sort of malintent anywhere there. That's just a tough break for both of those drivers.
Yeah, and that is a downfall of the option of cutting the dogleg here. There's so many, different merge options, if you will. Really, ways to exit the dogleg and enter the dogleg. There's a lot of different options, but that was just a perfect example of it. You had one guy that was kind of taking that low exit out of the dogleg, and somebody else that was, trying to do the right thing. Allen Robinson did nothing wrong there whatsoever.
Chris will take top 3 in champion.
He was just trying to, give Kyle ample room to make the pass, and just ran out of real estate there, as you said, Tom. No malintent or anything like that. Just ran out of race room. Happens though. Definitely happens, especially at Phoenix.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially coming down to, what are we gonna have? 4 laps to go here on the restart. Dave Payton
have 2 to go on the restart, actually. Just 2.
Dave Payton said Jade's got this in the bag. Mike Gray is disagreeing, and Terry Hankey's disagreeing. We got YouTube fights out here tonight. I don't know. I still got my eyes on that 189 car. I think you're gonna see him. I don't know if he's got what it's gonna take to get around that RST Timberworks car, but I think you're gonna see him really put up a fight for the 2nd position, and who knows what'll happen after that.
Yeah, we'll have to see here. The field's going to come into the restart zone for what could be the final time of the 2020 Season 1. Looks like the pace car is going to be getting ready to peel off onto pit road. Jade Bell, Cole Gray is going to be your front row, followed by Christopher Dean, Eric Moore, and Paul Turner up there in the top 5.
Barney, wave that flag, Barney.
Here they come into the restart zone. Green flag is out. Whoa, good restart for Cole Gray on the top side. He might clear Jade down into 1. He's there. Oh, looks like he's going to push up a little bit, though, in the center of 1 and 2. He might be able to get a big run. They're side by side, headed into the dogleg. Jade's going to cut it really, really hard. They get to the white flag right here. Next flag will end the race, whether it's a white... Oh, there will not be, actually. And we got a couple cars sliding up towards the outside wall. They're going to gather it up. White flag in the air one more time
white
around.
Sticks in the air. Into turn number 1. Cole Gray is going to be chasing the 14 car. I don't know what Cole's going to do here. I don't think he's going to have enough to get down there. He's going to certainly send it down. Put that hammer down, Mike Gray says. Going down here into turn number 3. Final time for the K&N Series at Phoenix. Jade Bell going to be holding that yellow line, coming at turn number 4 to win his 4th race of the season.
And your champ, going to come back and pull off a top 5. Kyle Jetty on fresh tires is going to go from the back of the field to 4th in 2 laps. What a charge late. But congrats to Jade. Hell of a season. Definitely had to miss a couple there early on, but you got to stop and think, man, what if he was able to be there? What would have happened? And you got Kyle Jetty here. I'm sure he's probably pretty excited. So we'll have 4 guys to talk to tonight.
We will, and Jade was one of those people. I believe Jade was one of those few that missed the Daytona race at the very start of the season, where we only take the top 20 from qualifying, as we're going to see Jade take that RST Timberworks. Oh, he knows that Chad told him to go ahead and nose it into the wall. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to start getting our top 3 finishers moved down here. Also our season champion for the K&N Rising Stars Series.
User was moved to your channel. Error.
Hey, Chris. Good run tonight, buddy. This is Tanner and Tom up in the Cyber Thunder broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, man, gonna bring it home. Podium spot, last race in the year. Started third, finished third. Not a whole lot of change in position, obviously. But, you know, tell us about your last race of the season and really your whole season altogether if you kind of want to give us a real quick summary of how things went. And congrats on the third place.
Thank you. Yeah, man, this track's just, for me, I just feel like the top, Kyle and Jade and Cole, they had that turn 3 and 4 down. Man, I couldn't get it figured out enough to make up any time on them. But the whole season, man, I learned a whole bunch. I've only been doing this iRacing deal for maybe a little over 3 months, and I'm really enjoying it and glad to be, in Cyber Thunder.
Yeah, you're definitely really quick. You're a guy that, me and Tom really haven't been doing this broadcasting thing too long, but it seems like every time that we have, you've been somebody that we've talked about at some point, whether you're running in the top 5 or getting up there towards the lead. Either way, you're putting together good finishes and you're doing everything right. Is there anybody that you want to say thank you to, or any teammates, anything like that you want to give a shout out to one last time before the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, Cole and Jade, thanks for, they brought me on to long shot and double shot, and, all my other teammates there.
Well, awesome, Chris. We're going to get ready to move you back down here and pull up our second place finisher, but Chris Verdeen going to bring it home third place in the final race of the season. Get ready to talk to runner-up Cole Gray.
As Tanner moves Chris Dean, third place finisher, out of the broadcast room, we're bringing in Cole Gray, finisher of the second place out here tonight. Cole, how was your race out there tonight?
It started off real good, man. Car was kind of loose all night. Had to chase it around there at the beginning of each run, let the tires come in. Just kept striving forward and doing all we could to hold on to the car and keep ourselves in good running order, and just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we saw that caution come out with just, I believe it was either 7 or 8 laps to go. We saw that same thing at Darlington 2 weeks ago. It looks like you and Jade decided to pull out the same strategy where you guys both stayed out. Was there any talk about maybe coming down for tires between the two of you guys?
No, I think we pretty much, as a team, decided on that last pit stop that we had done some practice runs in practice and figured out about how long we could do a good tire run and keep the tires where they needed to be, and we pretty much knew from then on out we weren't coming back.
Well, Cole, you certainly had a lot of support out in our broadcast chat box out here tonight. Mike Gray has been pulling out for you the entire night. We're going to open up the floor, give you the chance to thank all your sponsors, teams, family, friends, anybody you want to thank for helping you get this 53 car out here to a second place finish tonight.
Yeah, man, Mike Gray, that's my dad. Thanks, Daddy, for watching and supporting me through my racing career. He been having some tough times at home. He actually stepped up and helped me with my computer. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be able to do this right now. Thanks to my best friend Michael Kelly. He's out there watching. He supports me through this. My grandparents, my cousin Campbell, he comes in and spots for us. I want to say thank you to Cyber Thunder Racing League. Y'all just put on a heck of a show here, man, and we appreciate everything y'all do. Looking forward to next season. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to have a new sponsor on board next year, VX Network. That race tomorrow night's actually going to be sponsored. They're going to be on our car for the first time, and we just look forward to maybe trying to bring home a championship in this series next year. Thanks, Chris Harvey, and everybody else.
Yeah, Chris Harvey's done an excellent job with this series for the past 6 months, and tomorrow night, as you were mentioning, you could find tomorrow night's race on Full Velocity Racing Network. They'll have a real broadcast out there, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to get you moved. We're going to let you go celebrate with the rest of your teammates. Thanks for coming out. Congratulations on your second place run here tonight.
Thanks, man. I want to also thank Longshot for helping us with double shot all the way through the season as well, and Jade Bell and Eric Moore and all those guys too.
Absolutely, team effort. We're going to get you moved up here as Tanner's going to get. You want to do our winner first, Tanner, or you want to do our champion first?
Let's pull our winner up real quick. Let's pull Jade up here.
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Jade, man. Good race. Congrats on the win. I know we were just talking about it earlier, but we're talking about the long shot, double shot team points. I think that was a long shot 1, 2, 3, was it not?
I let's see, how'd we finish out? Cole's actually on double shot. So,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, Cole and Christopher Dean are actually double shots. So we were Eric Moore and Paul Turner, the other two long shots. So we were 1, 5, and 6. But I think we should have pulled it off points wise.
Yeah, I know we were talking about that when we pulled you up in the mid-race break, but yeah, I was looking at that at the end of the race, and I couldn't help but notice that maybe you guys are going to squeak it out there. But we were just talking to the other guys, talking about how the season went and stuff like that, and I think a lot of guys know that you weren't able to make every race this season, but if you can give us just kind of a quick summary on how your season went and things you had a good time with and anything you learned or anything along those lines, just kind of give us a quick summary about how your season went.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this season was really coming of age for me to speak as far as racing goes. I mean, I really came into my own here and felt like things started clicking off. I missed first race at Daytona just straight up on time. I just didn't make the cut, the top 20, and so I got last place points there. The second week, I can't remember where we were. It may have been Homestead or somewhere like that, one of those tracks, and I think I was leading and got taken out from the lead and ended up getting last place points there. And then we're transitioning to retired life from the military, and so I was moving, going to look at houses and stuff, and missed the third week. So first 3 weeks of the season I got last place points. After that I felt like I was real competitive. I came on, I started clicking off some wins there, and it really felt good. I felt like the tracks and the cars were coming to me. So yeah,
we were talking mid-race, Tom and I, we're talking about how many wins you had and stuff. We couldn't remember if this was number 4 or did you have 5 this season, or what did you end up having? We knew it was a lot. We just couldn't remember what the number was.
Yeah, I think this was 4. I clicked off 3 in a row, and then I lost last week, and this was my 4th. Yep.
Well, you won the season ender. It's good momentum to carry into the off season, if you will. But one last time before we head to the break, you got any friends, family, sponsors, anything like that you want to thank?
Oh yeah, for sure. So obviously RST Timberworks is my primary sponsor here and has been a big supporter for me. Go check them out on their webpage. They make awesome live edge slabs and custom furniture. All my teammates at Long Shot, the alliance we had with Double Shot this year, we put in a lot of practice laps. I got to thank all them sons of bitches out there watching me. I mean, they actually tune into these broadcasts, give you guys a little shit, I think, on the chat. Kenny Boy, Scoot, Top, T-Rex. T-Rex is actually going to be a primary sponsor for me next season in the Cup Series, so I'm looking forward to that. You guys for taking your time to put this broadcast on, and the entire admin for Cyber Thunder Race League. It's just been awesome. So I appreciate all of you.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here, Jade. Definitely one to keep an eye on going into next season when we go to the BladeNote.com Pro Cup Series. I think you're going to be a guy to a force to be reckoned with, if you will. And Jade Bell closing out the season with a win. Jade, congrats, man. It was awesome watching your race this season. We're going to move you back up here into the driver panel and get Kyle up here. But again, congrats, Jade. Go ahead and jump you up.
All right.
User was moved out of your channel. Was moved to your channel.
Series champion Kyle Jetty going to be coming home in a 4th place position after having to claim a late race caution. Kyle, first off, congratulations on your championship. Tell us about your race here tonight.
Yeah, I knew Jade and I were going to be quick because I raced against him in a couple different series here, and I mean, as you see, we were pretty quick, and I was trying to mess him up on some pit strategies like he's been doing to me for the whole season, and didn't really work out, but I had fresh tires most of the time, so I was happy about that. And kind of got shuffled back there a little bit. I think to 3rd or 4th, I made a little mistake coming off a 3 and just tried to reel him back in. And towards the end there, I was getting close. I was starting to reel him in like a 10th or 2 a lap and just kind of got caught up there, but it's all good. I mean, that's what's fun about racing is sometimes you win some and sometimes you lose some, but it's managing those mistake races, and that's kind of what I've tried to do all season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one thing that we saw, you came out of the bat really, really strong the first 4 races. I believe you won the first 3 or 4 races. I'm not looking at it right now. But then Jade started coming on. Did you feel like at any point that Jade would have been a contender for the championship if one race just didn't go your way?
Oh, for sure. I mean, last season running with him and with David Edwards, it was the same way. I think the top three of us were separated by only like 10 points towards the end of the season there. So if he, I mean, if he would have raced a couple more races or whatever happened, he would have been right in contention, 100%.
Yeah, no, we were just talking to Jade, and Jade rounds out the season with 4 wins. I believe you're going to round it out with 4 wins. So that means that only one other driver throughout the course of the season won a race, and I believe that was Richmond, where you lost it on a green-white checkered, not to put it that way. But Kyle Jett, congratulations on your first Cyber Thunder Racing League championship. We're going to open up the floor for you here before we send you back up and let you go celebrate with your friends. Any friends, family, sponsors, team members, anything like that you want to thank for getting you out here and getting you a championship tonight?
Yeah, definitely the whole Strictly Business Racing team, and we have a lot of fun running these leagues with you guys, and thank you guys for broadcasting this tonight, and your whole Cyber Thunder Racing League for putting these on for everybody, so we can have a chance to win races and kind of showcase our talents. And yeah, just had a lot of fun. It was great battling with Jade, great battling with Cole, everybody. I mean, it was the progression throughout the series in the last 2 seasons has been phenomenal, and I've opened it up to anybody if they need help with any type of tips or want to practice with me, and I can help them out if they need it. So I mean, I hope to see this grow and become even bigger than it has been.
Yeah, as we round out the season here tonight, Kyle Jetty going to be bringing home the first ever Cyber Thunder Racing League championship for him and for Strictly Business Racing. Kyle, you talk to Bill, you tell the 7047 that we want to see him back out here on track in the K&N Rising Stars series.
I definitely will. I've been trying to, but you can't make it sometimes for whatever reason. But I'll try and whip him into shape for you.
All right, Tanner's going to get you moved up over here as we're going to start to finish up tonight's race. Want to say thank you to everybody that came out in our YouTube chat box. We see Kenny Boy Smith. We see Mike Gray. We see Dave Payton. Dave finished like 28th last night, but he's still coming out. You know, he's a trooper. We see Terry Hankey, Matthew Blodgett out there, Doug Lockrow. Everybody that came out here supported us throughout the course of the season, throughout the past 3 races. Tanner, this has been a lot of fun over the past 3 races. Any final thoughts before we shut the CTBN down?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think first and foremost, obviously, congratulations to Kyle and Jade on their pretty, phenomenal seasons they had. But really, just for the whole series in general, I think it was a good season. Going back to the whole point of this series, if you will, is just learning, getting new guys in here, letting them get their feet wet, and kind of figure out what we're about here in Cyber. And I think it was a great season. From that aspect, I think we brought in a lot of new talent, and definitely we've seen a lot of guys improve, and it's got me excited for the next K&N Rising Star season. I think there's going to be, a wide open door to anybody. I think anybody's going to be able to get up there and mix it up at any given race, and I'm super excited. I think if Jade sticks around and runs K&N again next season, if he's able to, I think he's going to be quick, but I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be up there, really duking it out with him. So looking forward to the break. I think we all kind of need it a little bit, but yeah, definitely it was a good season, and I'm already looking forward to next time around.
Absolutely. For myself, for Tanner Tallarico, for Tim Rogers, who's part of our team here, but he's not out here tonight. Champion last night. I am Tom Richter. Thank you guys all for joining us out here tonight. We're going to be shutting this down. Appreciate everybody coming out to the Diamond in the Desert.